I'm live. All right, folks. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just getting set up. And getting into the live on my hello. I Never Grow Up and Shaniqua's World. Hey, how are you? I'm just getting set up, just getting my getting my comments up on the Chromebook. And then I am going to grab one of my silicone babies over here, and we are also going to have a special guest with her silicone baby doll, and we're going to have a fun afternoon Dolly chat. Hi, Bulldog Mom Lisa and Miracle Cameron. Good afternoon. Welcome. So this is actually popping in. This was totally unscheduled. Normally I do my pop-ins. Hi, Anna Nation. I do my pop-ins in my channel's membership. Hello in Norway. And thank you, Lisa. And you can see my channel members will, as they start popping up, they have a little special badge next to their what do you call it? Their name. Their name. So normally I pop in my memberships, but because like it's so last minute, I figured I would get more of y'all in there, and then also because I'm going to have a guest who is waiting backstage now and going to come on and join us, so you'll get to see us interact, and I have some announcements to make, and we're going to have some Dolly fun this afternoon for who's ever hanging about. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my guest in as you all kind of stream in. And my guest, some of you all may know, Lee, and I will let her come and pronounce her Instagram once and for all so I don't get it wrong. I'm coming in to get you, Lee. And
hello.
You're there. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great, except for, has it put an, oh no it has, it's okay, it spelt my name right. I thought I'd done a stupid thing and spelt my name wrong, but I haven't. Hello,
nope.
Hello.
And pronounce your name for us.
I am Monami Lee.
Monami Lee. I sometimes say Monami Lee, so that's why I was
thinking. No, Monami Lee.
So everyone, this is one of my dear friends, and you may know her from Instagram. She's over on Instagram with her gorgeous baby, silicone baby boy, Hamish, who is, I love to see him like in your arms, because it's like a treat, it's different from seeing the photos on Instagram. Magic. He is. So do you want to tell everybody what sculpt he is and who his artist is?
So this is the Bear Sculpt by Izzy Zhao from, I think, Baby Nook Nurseries. I think that's what she is. And he was painted and rooted by Leticia Moreno from Dreams of Tiny Angels. And she sent me a real life baby look.
It's like she sent a living baby in a box.
Yeah, and so it's a full body silicone with all the bells and whistles. He's got an umbilical cord, which is unique to him. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. I'll see if I can show you that. It's real cool. Sorry, I need to undo all these clothes. So,
yeah, but that's what we want to see on silicones, right? Everybody wants to see.
Can you see that close? I don't think you can see it. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see. I mean, you can see it sticking out there.
but it looks like it's almost dried. It's going to fall off any day now. So yeah, that's really cool.
He's really
I've
newborn
never been
looking.
on this. I've never been. Thank you. I've never been on this before, so I'm just going to explain what I can see on my screen. I can see a tiny little square with you on the top, and a tiny little square with me on the top. Is that right?
That's what
Is
I
that what we
see.
can
Yep.
see? Yeah. Okay.
Now I don't know. Maybe if you know what, I
What does
hate.
other people see? What do other people see? Do they see the two of us like that, or?
I think so because I'm watching on my Chromebook so that I can see the comments, and that's what I
Oh,
see.
okay.
So I think everybody's seeing what we're seeing on our screens.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody, and thank you for having me on, Tash, with little squishy pants.
I am like so thrilled to see him like anytime because it's just I don't know. It's just like magical. It's just like
He is.
how is he not real, you know?
Well, we've had this conversation before. He's my first ever silicone. In fact, he's the first ever silicone that I've even seen. Like, I'd not seen one before. And I've had quite a lot of vinyls and I've got some very, very beautiful vinyls, but there's just something that don't compare. It just don't compare. And you can't put into words what it is. It's just, they just feel real.
It's like having a living baby in the house. That's how I
Yeah.
described it
Yeah. And
with Oscar.
photographs just don't do that justice. You can't, the realism is ridiculous, you know?
Right, right. It's the vinyls, reborns, they photograph so much better. And of course, a
Yeah,
lot
they
of
do.
them are like mind blowing as well. I'll walk past and I'll see one of my reborns, and if I've got them, posed in a bassinet or on the change table or something, I'll do a double take on them too.
Yeah.
But then, silicones are a different world in that you have that feeling of the realism as well as what you're looking at. And we're always trying to describe it as silicone mommies, collectors, because it's like what you're seeing in person, but it's not the same on camera. It's just
No,
they
it's not.
don't,
Every picture that I've taken of him just does not capture what the naked eye can see. Like he's got little details. He's got tiny little thread veins and scratches on his face and all the undertones and stuff. That the artist has done an amazing job. She has sent a real life baby, but sometimes the photography doesn't necessarily catch that like it can on a vinyl, because I think it's more, the depth is easier to see on a vinyl than it is on a silicone.
right.
So but yeah, little squishy Hamish is pretty impressive. I think so anyway.
I think we all think so.
Yeah.
Hi,
and I
Ruby.
would never.
That's another one of our Pixie Squad
Hi,
members.
Ruby. I would never have in a million years, even you with Oscar and stuff, I can see him on the screen. I can see how much you love him. And I love to see that. I love to see how much the collector loves their doll, whatever the medium, just their doll. But I would watch your videos when I was first getting in, for sure. I would be like, I'd watch everybody's silicone videos, everybody's silicone tips, how they moved, what they did with them, what to do, what not to do. I watch them all, and every one of you all said it's magic. And I would just be like, yeah, you're just saying that for the camera, it's just like having I've got a vinyl that looks real. I know what that magic is. And then, oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. And having real children as well, it's your mind plays tricks on you. It's a doll. I know it's a doll. I don't get up in the middle of the night and feed him and check his breathing, and he's a doll. But you walk past him and you're like, oh, gosh, he's so real.
And so the way we all talk, and everybody here, obviously, that's doll collectors will get this because we talk about the magic in a connection that you have with a doll. I mean, even getting a reborn doll, especially for the first time when you've never owned like such a
Like a little
lifelike,
bit closer.
piece of art, it's magical. You're just
Yeah.
absolutely blown away. And then of course here we all are on YouTube and Insta and Facebook, Twitter, and wherever else, the TikTok. I can't keep up with them all, but here we all are, like all over social media now. Like the hobby is the industry is really
Hmm.
growing, and we're really all over the place now. But then you get people from the outside looking in, and they hear us talking like, oh, it's like having a living baby in the house, and like the things that we say. And
Yeah.
then like they don't
Yeah.
understand, they don't get it. It's like, no, nobody actually is,
No, we don't actually think he's real. We're not getting up and checking that his diapers are wet in the middle of the night, or nappy, as I would say. He just takes your breath away sometimes, and you're like, the artist has done the most incredible job because he looks real. And when you think about Hamish, so the way I look at this, like Hamish was done by three different artists because he was poured by Maria Lynn Grover. So he's been, made out of a piece of clay by one artist to represent a real baby. Another
right.
artist has then poured him. Another artist has then painted him. In some occasions, and then a fourth artist then roots. You know, and that's incredible to think that that collaboration of people can create something so real.
That
And
collaboration of talent,
yeah,
amazing, right?
yeah, and artists get better and better with every kit they do, every sculpt they do, every pour they do. And so when you see them and you see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down the line, and then you see another one, you're just like, oh my god, like this is incredible. I can't even begin to imagine the particular artists that have done Hamish, what they're going to be like in 2, 3, 4 years time.
Because
Or even
you keep
10,
getting
5, 10
better.
babies down the line.
I know. Right, because I mean, I know I don't paint silicone at the moment. I plan to in the future, but
Yeah,
some of y'all know that I started painting vinyl. I started painting reborns, and you learn something new every single baby that you paint. And
yeah,
so obviously an artist is, going to be even better, 2 babies later, 5 babies
yeah,
later,
yeah,
10 babies later. They just keep growing and growing, and it's like, first off, it's mind blowing what they're doing, what so many of these amazing artists are doing now. And then exactly, you think about like, where is this, going in the future? Like they just keep
yeah.
getting more and more real. Now, Hamish was, um, I from what I understand, Letitia has painted several of his sculpts.
I think
Do you know how many?
I think he was her third and last. I think the first one she did was a little girl.
Okay.
That so she did a because he comes in a girl version and a boy version. It's the bear. So she did a girl, and then she did a boy, and then I think he was her last because the edition's closed now.
Okay.
Um,
Got
so
you.
I think my particular bear was Letty's third and last, unless Izzy does, a special edition one off, which she said she might do in the future, but currently it's a closed edition now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I think three bears down the line, like she's
good.
really
Right.
mastered her vision. And I'm a particular. I don't know if I'm sure I've said it to you before. As a collector, my all three babies of I've got four, but three of them have been customs, and I kind of just say to the artist, okay, so newborn, but do what you like. A newborn, baby, newborn skin tone, but do whatever. And
Right.
actually, with my vinyls, with my arena babies, I didn't even say that. I just gave her the kits, and
Right.
she doesn't send work in progress. You get nothing. It was just then like a surprise. This is what I've done with that kit. And with Hamish, I just asked for um, a newborn skin tone and a particular hair color. Like I wanted a newborn lightish brown. Um, and it's incredible. And I think for me personally, and I know everybody is different, but I think for me, then you're not blocking the artist with I want, I want, I want. It's their vision. It's what they're seeing. Because I can say, okay, I'd like a scratch on its cheek, I'd like a baby rash on its chest, but what I see in my head is not necessarily what the artist is seeing when you say that. So
Right.
I don't think, even no matter how good an artist you are, if there's a list of things, they're not going to be what you envisage in your head, because she can't see in your head, or he can't see in your head. So I personally just say, here it is, do work your magic. Because if I've seen what they can do on previous babies and I like their work, then I trust that it's going to turn out okay, because I can see 50 babies that they've done, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, that's the thing when you trust an artist's work. It's I have talked about this for ages, well before I ever picked up a paintbrush,
Mm-hmm.
and it only kind of reinforced that I know I'm right when I started painting. Sometimes it's whatever, skin tone you're doing, it starts going a certain way, or you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at a kit and you're thinking, looking at the features, knowing if you put the paint in a specific place, it's going to bring out features or depth or realism.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes something may go wrong, and so therefore, if you're going to put a rash or a birthmark or something, it'll work in that spot rather than to have something a little off. There's a
Yeah.
gazillion and one things, and just overall, you are going to get an artist's best work when they have free reign to,
Yeah.
it's one thing to say, like, obviously to say, I'd like you to paint this kit, and even to say, I'd love blue eyes and blonde hair, or
Yeah.
something like that. But as far as the painting, I think it's nice to give artists as free reign as
Yeah.
possible, and I think that a lot of us collectors that have, been here a while, or anyone that has like a little background in art, or, does anything art and crafty themselves, like, it's, you realize that things come out better when you're passionate and you're putting your vision into something.
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome that you gave, Letitia free reign, and look what you got. I know how
That's
happy
what
you
I
are.
thought.
I know
Gosh,
how thrilled. Yeah.
so I, for anybody that's not got a silicone, when I was looking at silicones, I would see them, I would see flaws in them, I would see this, I would see that, my expectations were really quite lowered, just because of what I could see on the internet. Not because of Letitia's work or Izzy's work, because they looked flawless, but obviously an artist is going to present their very best of the very best, and collectors would generally say, with silicone there's always flaws, that's part of the deal, you just overlook them, and they're tiny, you can't barely see them, they're just there. And so when I was getting Hamish, I was like, okay, so there's going to be some flaws, but that's going to be it is what it is. And I can honestly say I have looked this doll up and down, left and right, back. His silicone is perfect. There's not a dint, a flaw. He's just amazing. His paintwork is absolutely beautiful. I can't I can't fault him in any way. I just can't fault him. And I would recommend both Izzy's sculpt. I mean, it's very personal because I think you've got to love the face and love the sculpt, or certainly I do.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Letty's paintwork is
Yeah.
phenomenal. So much so that I've gone back.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So much so that I've gone back and getting another baby from Letty because it's beautiful work. Yeah.
I think that that's something, especially something for newbies, new collectors to take into consideration when you see collectors that like you looking at their dolls and saying, "Oh wow, I love that doll and the realism and everything." When you see them repeatedly going back to the same artist or even the same sculptors and stuff, it says something. And some of it is a matter of taste, so you've got to look at that collector and be like, do I have the same or similar taste? That's a very helpful guide. I certainly found when I started collecting is just making your way around and paying attention to the dolls, the collector's dolls that you admire the most, that you're like, gosh, I'd love to have that doll in my collection. Well, take a note where, who's the artist of that doll, what's the sculpt, who's the artist, and you're able to start to build in your mind, at least, your taste. And because it's something that we do get a lot of questions of here, just being on social media. It's you once you're here for a couple of years, you get questions. And honestly, personally, I have a very hard time like just rattling off a list of artists. Like if somebody says, I want to get a Reborn, I don't want to get scammed, please, what artist could you send me to? And it's such a matter of personal preference, as well as everyone's experience could be different. So it's like, oh gosh, you don't want to be that 1 in 1,000 customers that's just unhappy with something. It somehow comes back to bite you in the ass. Like, I would rather just freely show the dolls in my collection that I love, and I'm showing the artist work, I'm talking about the artist work, and let people figure that out, that, well, obviously I recommend that artist if I'm enjoying the doll, instead of like just giving somebody a list, if that makes sense. I had that on my mind because it's a question that I always tend to beat around the bush with when asked. And I know people get frustrated. So I always like to throw out that tip out there, like just pay, attention to the artist.
I generally just say things like, well, I can only tell you the artist that I've worked with, and because I've had quite a lot of dolls, but I've moved on quite a lot of dolls. So it depends. Like the dolls that stay are the dolls that I would highly recommend because they've stayed for a reason. But quite often the reason is not necessarily the paintwork. It's the sculpt. It's the kits.
Right.
Because the sculpt speaks to you for whatever reason, and then the artist just perfects it and makes it even better. So it's so personal. I think a lot of times I just say things like, do your homework, check that they've got a social media footprint, have a look at all their works. And I get a lot of people messaging saying they want one like this, but they can only afford £500 or whatever. Or I've seen a silicone like this and it's £500. Okay, well then it's not a silicone like this and you're being scammed, because you're not going to get a silicone like this for £500. So, but if you're brand new, you don't necessarily know that. And I think that's where a lot of really brand new people slip up. I mean, when I first came into this community, I had no idea how much like the uber beautiful kits of babies done were from any artist at all. It was just, I like that doll, and it's in my price range, you know. And what I tended to do was each baby just got a little bit better and a little bit better, and you know, until I found what I like. And I think it took quite a few babies to even decide what I liked. You know, did I like open eye? Did I like closed eyes? What size did I like? Um, that that took a lot of babies. That took a lot of time. You know, and now I know what I like. Now I
Right.
really know. But it doesn't mean to say that I don't admire and appreciate all those other babies that I wouldn't have, because I love seeing them. But I know that for my bond, for what I like, is a sleepy newborn. You know, I don't like the little tiny preemies because
Right.
I like buying all the
Uh,
stuff, and I find it
right.
really difficult to shop for a preemie. I don't like the really big babies because although I have Dougie and he's really great fun, but I wouldn't have more than one Dougie sized baby. Who's the Yannick, for those that don't know. And he's not often on my feed because personally I think unless he's doing something, he doesn't look very realistic. He's got to be on the move, he's got to be doing something. And sometimes that's a lot of hard work. But I love seeing the preemies. I love seeing your preemies. I love seeing the bigger babies. I love seeing the babies that are doing stuff and having fun. But it's taken quite a few years to hone in what I really want, and now I'm there. I think, you know, but it evolves all the time, and you know, 2 months down the line, I could say something different. You
I
know,
think that it evolves, you know, for us, but I've certainly noticed, you know, I've slowed down. I've definitely really know my preferences at this point, but it took a lot. I mean, the first
yeah,
couple years, like if you look at the first 2 years of my YouTube channel, it was a revolving door of dolls.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was like I was having people were like, "Oh, she's having another box opening." Like it was just, you know, but
But it's the
I
only
was
way you
getting to
learn.
know, right,
Yeah, and it's the only way you like. How do you know that that artist's work is what you like if you've not seen it in real life?
right, right.
You
Or
know?
sometimes I would get like I'd love the artist's work, but I'd realize the sculpt wasn't for me. And
Yeah,
then, you
yeah,
know, but I would usually go back and, you know, buy again from that artist, just, you know, try to pay more attention to the sculpt that I was getting
yeah.
because you know, you learn as you go along. I'm going to grab Oscar. He's right here. I
And
forgot to.
sometimes I think kits so babies that you're really anticipating, that you've bought for, that you're really expecting to have this great bond with, that you love in the pictures, they come and it's just not there.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't put your finger on why that it's just not. You know.
I also tend to, especially with the reborns, I think it's, I tend to like to have a connection in some way with the artist. And I don't mean like a personal, you know, friendship, like by any means. I
Yeah.
just mean like to, I guess just see the artists that really are pouring like their heart and soul. And I'm
Mm.
sure that most artists do, but we're human beings and sometimes we just vibe with certain people more than others and something, you know, may click. And that also, for me, always helped create a bond with a baby as well. I think when you're
Yeah.
getting into, you know, silicones and thousands and thousands of dollars, at a certain point, it maybe becomes less relevant of really like having some sort of spiritual connection with an artist. You know,
Yeah.
you kind of
Yeah.
just are like, I want it to be what I want it to be. But, you know, it's, it's just, it's a whole journey. It's a whole
Yeah.
process, you know. Um, But I
But a
think that,
fantastic one.
right. Like, have
Even
you,
even the mistakes are like wonderful.
right. Like, have you not enjoyed every doll that's come through your collection, or basically every
Absolutely.
doll, right? As I know
Absolutely.
I
In
have.
fact, there's only one doll that I got that I took out the box, put back in the box, and sold instantly, and that was my very, 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 very first Reborn. The very first one that I got. I knew I wanted one. My daughter had one. This is how I got into the hobby. I got my daughter one. I loved how it felt, and I thought, ooh. I mean, hers wasn't brilliant, but it just felt nice, and I thought, ooh, I kind of like this. I wonder if there's one out there for me, kind of thing. I spoke to a few collectors on here and said, you're an adult and collect. Yeah, okay. So that justified that I can do it. And I got one off eBay. It was I think, Laura Lee Eagles Evangeline.
Oh, yes. That's a beautiful
And
sculpt.
but for me, so she came dressed like a doll. She came dressed like a porcelain doll. And at that time, I obviously didn't know how to restuff. I didn't know anything about dolls. I wasn't into all the stuff. And now the stuff is the best thing. I love all the stuff. But obviously, I was brand new. She'd just come out the box, and she was too small for a start.
Sarah.
And I couldn't see past this is I mean, she looked like a porcelain doll that you should sit on a shelf,
Right.
And I couldn't see it. I couldn't see her looking like a real baby at all. And she was gone. She was just gone straight away. And then I went through quite a few quite quickly until I found one that I thought, yeah, this is real. And it was Annie. It was
Okay, yeah. You were just telling me about her.
Annie. She was my like, oh my god, and she's teeny, but she was this is what I was looking for,
Right.
I can't read the comments. Somebody's saying something.
So, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Okay.
I'm trying to pop a few up here as we're going along, just so that, just picking a few out. But some of the ladies are now talking about the loving the clothing and accessory part of it, and photographing and things like that. And so, Lee, you're like the perfect person. Like, I remember when, like, I didn't know you at all, and just, started, like, met you through a friend, started following your Instagram, and I was always in awe of your photos. As you know,
Thank you.
I'm just like, to this day, I'm always inspired by your photos. I'm always learning new things, not only your photos, but the clothing and the accessories and everything that you pick. And I think a lot of us, we just love to get together and look at each other's stuff and share that kind of stuff, because it's like,
I think
we'll all wind up having like the goose or the, whatever.
I think I've said to you before, for me, I would never say I got something first, I started something first, because there's thousands of people on the internet that I don't even follow that may have had it first. Like, it just is what it is. But to see another sculpt, not necessarily your sculpt or even your sculpt, to see somebody else's doll in their collection in the same outfit as you, but they've styled it different, the photographs are different, sometimes the sculpts are really different, and it looks like even more adorable than you thought it ever could. I love seeing that. I think it's probably one of the nicest parts of the hobby. Is so at first I got into it because the dolls felt nice and I liked them, and now I probably spend more money on stuff than dolls. It's the stuff. It's the stuff, And
Your
you're
head
like,
is
I've got
like,
it. I mean, you've been inside my cupboard. I showed you my cupboard, right? Like, ladies. So here's the thing. I have a beautiful cane crib where I'm sat now over there. I have a beautiful cane crib. I have an Oliel and Moses basket, cane basket thing upstairs in the bedroom. Under the bed, I have a next to me crib that I don't have out anymore. In the cupboard, I have the hammock.
Yes.
And I have like a seagrass Moses basket. Like, who needs more than one crib? Apparently I do. Apparently I do. Like, and the boxes, the tubs and tubs and tubs of stuff that I've got, despite getting rid of a million things. Like, I just love the stuff. I have the Bibs dummy in every colour up until the beginning of this year. Anything new they've brought out, I haven't got because I had a little word with myself. But like who needs this stuff? Who needs this stuff? But I love it. I love it, and I think I love it because it. My children are big. I can't buy little things anymore.
Right.
Little things are beautiful. I'd love to be able to dress Ruby in the little things, even the like 3 to 4 year old things. I'm like, oh my God, I remember when I used to be able to just come in here and buy all cute things, and now you buy your own clothes. How dare you? You know. But Hamish don't complain. He doesn't say don't put me in that. You know.
Exactly. I've choked sometimes at the checkout, and I realize I have spent more on one clothing haul at one online store than I did on my first Reborn doll.
Or even on my own stuff. You know, I'll see a jumper for me for like 60 quid, and I'll see a jumper for me for like £60 or whatever, and I'm like, oh, that's a little bit expensive. I'll wait till next month. I'll go and spend £70, £80 on baby clothes and go, oh, bargain.
What? Right. And ladies folks that are watching here, like, let me tell you, like, I am nowhere near, and I know Lee is not in that headset either. Like, I am, well, first off, I'm like a thrift shop junkie. Most of my house is furnished by stuff that I have found at the curb. Okay. So like there is no like snooty noseness over this way at all.
No.
It is just literally like an addiction, and it builds up over the years of what
over
you're
a long period of
willing
time,
to spend, can spend, whatever, into a hobby. So like, trust me, when I first came into this hobby, I felt guilty about going up to Michael's Arts and Crafts and buying glue and a magnet to make a pacifier. Okay, I'm like, I cannot believe I just spent like $12 on a freaking doll. Am I insane? This is horrible. Like, I literally felt guilty over glue and a magnet. I would look at other ladies and see like the adorable little Carter's outfits that I still use to buy Carter's to this day. But I'm just saying, I saw that and I'm like, I couldn't afford to do that, or how could you go and buy that for a dollar? Like, it's amazing how
you twist. But I also think like you if you can afford it and you're not getting yourself into debt and you're all right, then why not? You're not hurting anyone. It's nobody else's business what you're spending your own hard cash on, you know.
Absolutely.
And you can get some real bargains if you wait for sales. And they don't grow out of them. They don't vom and poop all over them. You get no blowouts that have to go in the bin. I mean, it's an investment, right?
Yeah, Shara wants a link to Lee's Instagram. So let me see if I can pop off of this, Lee, because how do I get your link to your Instagram up here?
I don't know. My Instagram is written exactly the same as my name is tagged on here, though. I did that on purpose. So it's monami_Lee is my Instagram. And I am on YouTube, but I don't make content, or I haven't made content, although I am considering it. In fact, I am going to. And my YouTube is the same name. So if you want to see more of Squishy Pants
Let me see.
in better lighting, because the lighting in here is really bad, but there's nothing I can do about it. I'm sure I've told you a million times, but I can't get over his little ankle bones. I don't know if you can see that, everyone. But his ankle bones like this, and his little feet. He impresses me so much. I thought I'd get him half naked so you could see his paintwork rather than him sat in a Christmas sleep suit.
We love to see the silicones like that.
Shh. Shh.
I'm trying to at least type out. I am so bad with the technology.
Can I type it out? Will it?
Yeah, you should be able to. You'll probably.
Let me do this. Mon. I've never been on this platform. I don't even know. Mon Ami_ Oh. Lee. And there you go. I think my profile picture is Hamish, I think. But that's who I am on Instagram and YouTube, although there's no content on YouTube currently. I think I've got one like little short up or something, have I, Tash? I think I have on. I don't know.
I'm not.
But I'd love to see you over there. Come and say hi. And on my Instagram. That would be really cool.
Hi, Shelly Clay. She says, I love thrifting until their prices increase dramatically. I still go, but only on senior citizen days, age 55 and up. Yeah, y'all have no idea. I literally have a dresser sitting outside in my driveway that's going in my bedroom that I do it to this day. And that was free. That was somebody was throwing out.
I could show you it. I don't know if I can switch the screen though, so I don't. But the coffee table right in front of me was £5 English. We call them charity shops in the UK. So we don't call them thrift stores.
Okay, charity shops.
Charity shops. Gotcha. And I've had this coffee table since Ruby was 13 years, and it was £5. Pretty cool.
Mine is an old storage chest that I refinished and put wheels on and got glass cut for the top. I mean, the glass obviously costs money and stuff, but it's unique. But yeah, I have a ton of stuff, but it's ways like that you cut corners and save. I learned to do it obviously years ago when we had a lot less money and young kids, and you learn to do it because you have to do it. But then it turns into, why spend it if you don't have to? And then for me, it's like, well, that's the little extra, all those corners that I cut. It's the little extra that I have to put into the hobby or to add to it, you know.
I like the stories of things. I have a lot of vintage baby clothes. I have vintage rattles. It's stories for me. I often think, this coffee table, it's gigantic. It's almost like a small dining table. And I often think, I wonder who sat around there, and, the family times they've had. And we've had some lovely times around it, and I like that things might have had stories,
Yeah.
Who did they belong to?
I have the antique bassinet that I have that's Oscar's in the other room. $10 at the thrift shop, and it's 80-something years old. I have the whole backstory behind it because it was the lady there that was, worked there, that it was hers and her family. So I got the whole story and everything. And I love that. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite things I have for my dolls. So it's not always about the high end or how much money you have to
No.
spend or anything like that. It's just, I mean, we laugh because, like I said, you get going and you can wind up, depending on your situation, but you can wind up, dropping insane amounts of money where you're like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe, but
But it
it's
doesn't
a
all have
hobby.
to come at once. Yeah, it's a hobby, and it doesn't all have to come at once. I have saved sometimes for quite a long time for something that I've wanted.
Oh, look at,
You
so
know.
Shara says, I love your IG, Lee. I already followed you.
Thank
So
you.
Lee is going to, right? Gonna be putting up content on YouTube. So I
Yes.
thought it would be great to, have her on here to chat and stuff. And it's a starting place because it's always fun. Like you get a few people that want to watch it first, and it grows.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you all can click on her YouTube name, or you should be able to get to her, to subscribe to her YouTube channel. This way, when she uploads, you'll be able to see it. And then, over on Instagram, and Lee is very active on Instagram, like I am. In fact, probably you're even more consistent because I think you post daily no
I
matter
try
what,
to.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I try to post daily. Sometimes you get 3 or 4 pictures from the same photograph session because I can't decide which one I like, so I post them all throughout the day. But yeah, I try to post daily, and it's 99% of it is just Dolly stuff. There's sometimes a little bit of personal stuff in there, and not Dolly content, but more often than not, it's
Yeah.
kind of stalk my baby. I can see that. I haven't got my glasses on. That's a stalk away. Stalk away. You
I
have
stalk everything she
bulldog
buys
mommy has
too.
beautiful babies. You stalk. Listen, your little mousy sleep suits are coming, all right? Yeah, like
Because I had to make you go get them in the 5 pounds because of the up to 5 pounds, because I couldn't
it's
get that in the U.S. But you put those mousy sleepers up, and like how many of us were like,
a
I
lot.
need
Yeah,
those.
I need those. Where are they from? I need them. And I love that. I love that people like, you know what, uh, if we had real babies in this season and next, they would all have them because they're gorgeous, and nobody would bat an eyelid that you went to a playgroup and 3 babies have the same sleep suit on,
Exactly.
because
I
that's real life,
it's real life. It's the fun of it. It's it's just fun. It's fun
Yeah.
when we all go goose wild and have
Oh,
the
shush.
same PJs
I
and
got
outfits, and
two
it's just great.
I got 2 more geese last week. That I have a problem.
I
I have a
love your goose problem because I just do.
I was like, okay, so I need girl geese. I have a goose problem. But look how gorgeous this boy is.
Oh, look at the little feet down. Oh God, he is
Well, the
just.
lighting is terrible in here. It's really
It
warm, but
doesn't matter. You got a real baby in your hands, like
he's so
a
cute.
real baby in your hands.
He really is. Is pretty dreamy. I took him out the sleep suit just now that I will put back in him when we get off here because it's a Christmas one.
You with the
I'm not
Christmas.
we're not telling anybody. Nor are we telling anybody that there's a Christmas cushion behind me. It's just.
Oh well, you just flipped it. I know.
I know. Michael still doesn't know. Shh. Sneaking it in one item at a time.
Somebody loves Christmas.
It's not that far away now. I think we're on 68 sleeps now.
Oh God.
Promise you. About 60. Obviously it depends where you are in the world. Somebody might be even more excited to be on 67. But
Maybe.
I'm on 68, but yeah, I am.
So exciting news as well as Lee's going to be putting some content up on YouTube because we would all really, really, really love to see a lot more Hamish, like on video and in your arms and all that because it's just enjoyable and everybody loves to see all the beautiful clothes that you get and just everything. I have made it's actually a big decision for me personally, but I am going to be coming over to social media in the Dolly industry full time.
Yay!
So those of you that have hung in there through my, kind of spottiness of, my channel membership, I really, really appreciate you all in there that have really been supporting me all of this time in my journey in the art and all else. I'm going to obviously be much more present because full time I'm going to be really hanging around in the doll industry. After Christmas, I am going to start painting more regularly and probably selling some reborns. I mean, I have sold a few here and there that I've made, but I am really going to now go forward in that. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. Welcome back. Oh, I love having you. Instagram has rolled out. Now they don't have it for the UK yet, unfortunately. No. But they do have it here in the US. Apparently it's brand new. I didn't realize, but I got the notification up. I figured it had been there for a while and I just didn't see it.
Yeah, no, I think the 15th of October.
Yeah, so it was, oh my gosh. So I'm here thinking, oh, it just went over my head and I never realized it was there. Okay. So I have clicked on to open up my Instagram for subscriptions as well. And the reason why I've done it there too is I am really stoked about this. Instagram is offering for us to do group chats. So for subscribers, I can now interact with you all group in via group well, it doesn't have to be a group, but I can interact with you all in the messages, all of you subscribed. I really am going to take a turn on the Instagram part behind the scenes and get quite personal. So just be aware over on there, which I'll put up. I'm going to be sharing a lot more of like my life and, like what's going on, like behind the scenes in my life, as well as the dolls, of course. Mm-hmm. And I think I put in a post, I am spilling some tea in there. I will be, but it is not a negative kind in any sense. It's all going to be kept on the fun light side of dolls. I definitely over the summer has been, as a lot of you know, I've been like MIA a bit throughout the summer. Summers are usually that way for me, but this summer even more in particularly. And my son Gabriel started high school in September, so that's been, taking my time as well. But in taking the rest of the time over the summer to live life,
mm-hmm.
Right?
That's important, right?
I got back out there in the spring. Well, not back out there. I got out there and started walking, and I'm doing like 3 miles a day now. So, I've taken quite a bit of weight off, and I'm, still plan on taking a lot more off. I've been working on my physical health, my spiritual health, my mental health, because the past couple winters had been rough. I really was suffering from depression. And that's not something that everybody jumps to talk about, themselves. While it was going on, I might have said a few things here and there, but I certainly didn't let on to how bad it was, because you all would see me and I would come on like this, but nobody sees what goes on when the cameras go off, right?
No, because the camera would go off, you'd get back in your jammies and go and sit in the quiet and be on your own, because that's the reality of depression. You wear a mask when you have to.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. So that's, and when I finally openly started talking about it a little more, so many people came out like in the comments and were like, thank you. And now I feel more comfortable about like even admitting to myself that I had been struggling. Like, it's hard to even like face that yourself, especially if you're, strong and independent and stubborn and, whatever, right? It's hard. It's hard to admit. So I finally, really started feeling better in the spring when I physically, started getting my body healthier and all of that. Hi, Margie. So I really lived my life this summer. And there's a lot in my life that goes on that, again, that y'all don't know about, but, you're gonna real soon, because behind the scenes on Instagram, I am going to definitely be, sharing that.
I think the Instagram subscription is going to be...
Thank you, Margie.
Going to be really super cool, because obviously I don't know YouTube that well, but I kind of get the idea that you can't stop anybody commenting, you can't stop anybody blocking, so all the negative stuff and the really positive stuff is all out there in one big bubble once you decide to put yourself out there. But I think Instagram is a fairly, or from my experience, is a fairly positive place and a fairly safe place, because if you really don't like somebody's content, if you're getting harassed or bullied or help, I mean, bully's a really big word, but I mean, there are some bullies out there. However you want to word it, if you don't like someone, you can just delete them and they don't exist in that bubble. Right. And so I think for subscribers, you're probably going to get some subscribers that are going to follow you because they want the tea. That might not necessarily be the tea that they want, but obviously it's brand new and we don't know how it works, but I would imagine that it works the same as the Instagram platform, in that you can remove them. You can, you're not going to get people on your block list in your subscribers, and I think that's a really nice, safe space where you can be yourself, where you can open up a bit more, because you've not got that big massive sphere of anybody and everybody. Does that, am I making any kind of sense? Does that
You're
make
making total sense to me. I really wish YouTube would give us a little bit more control. I can say, like, inside my channel's membership, inside the Pixie Squad, although no, like, I can't control who joins. So even if a channel is blocked, they can't interact with me and my other members. Okay. But they can come in and see. And I know people do. I see people's names in there that I know that they're in there because, and they know, they're in there because they don't like me.
However, if they're subscribing, it's a cup of coffee.
Yes, it's jokes on them, really, because come on, you're going to pay for someone's content because you don't like them? Like, it just, I mean, it's so silly. But it also, like, my mom, I really enjoy the members, from interacting with everybody on the post to doing the lives, which, as I said, most of my live streams, and as I get back to them, will be inside my channel membership. And that is because it is like every once in a while, I'll come out to interact with everyone, because I appreciate everybody that watches my channel, subscribes to my channel, enjoys my videos. I enjoy all of you. I like to pop out and say hello, like I'm doing now, and you know, it's just all of it is fun. But when talking about like getting more personal
Yeah,
behind the scenes and maybe sharing a little bit more in even the doll collecting and certain things that we might talk about in smaller groups or more private groups, things like that,
yeah,
it's just more
yeah,
comfortable in a smaller group. But
yeah. And it'd be nice. It would be nice for you to share your, especially with you saying that you are now. I mean, you've been painting a little bit, and you share as you go along in your membership on here on YouTube. But
right,
when now that you're really getting going and you're going to be painting more babies and learning more stuff, to be able to share that content exclusively when you're ready and not have it all out there on the platform in your face, that's really nice, because it's kind of like, okay, it's coming, but your subscribers are going to see it before it gets here, kind of thing,
right,
you know.
right,
And
right.
you can, the first refusal, okay, this one is going to be for sale, I started it, I don't know when it'll be finished, that sort of thing it'll be worth having the membership for, to get those exclusive, you know dang, I wanted that baby, but it's already gone, kind of thing. You're
Right.
gonna That's kind of really cool. I think subscriptions have a place. I think they do have a place, and I think
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can definitely, as a subscriber, benefit from it as well as the creator.
Right, right, where there's like a benefit on both sides. I
Yeah,
mean, hopefully, I mean, for me, I have decided, really to come over here full time, meaning my time. Obviously,
yeah,
it's nowhere near, going out and working a regular job or running a business, which those of you that have been around a really, really long time know that I breed sugar gliders. But I am now phasing out of that, or am almost out of that business,
mm-hmm.
because physically it got taxing on me. It's a lot of cleaning cages, and it was it's backbreaking photographing the little animals and everything that I did. So and you go through certain phases in life, and a lot of times when you're working in like the exotic pet industry, you burn out after a certain amount of time. You see a lot,
Yeah,
you hear a lot, you just you sometimes you just need to turn it over and do it fresh. And this hobby and YouTubing and the Instagram, it all has stuck for me. It only keeps increasing in interest for me. I only
yeah,
keep spending more and more time investing more and more in all aspects. So I said to myself, either I, like I'm going
it
to
makes
jump
sense.
all in
Yeah, it
and
makes sense.
see.
If you're there already, if it's something that you love, something that you're passionate about, and you're there already, because let's be honest, even those that, like, I don't paint reborns, I'm not going to be selling reborns or anything like that. So that's not a slightly different point of view from where you're going to come in. But as a collector, it's it's effort. It's enjoyable,
Right.
it's enjoyable, but we've got to take time out of our day from being, you know, functioning human beings that do 1,000, 1,000,000 and one other things, to spend some time with our collection, to take photographs of them, to change them, to get your camera set up, your phone set up, whatever that's all effort. So if you're doing that anyway, and can then add an extra layer on top of that, then it makes perfect sense. And especially if you're going to be selling, especially if you're an artist up and coming or renowned, it
Right.
makes sense to be all in.
Right.
Perfect sense.
Right. And so I said, it's good timing. And it's also a timing where, when you're here a certain amount of time, well, as I was saying about the summer and real life and everything, it truly put things into perspective for me
Yeah.
as far as what I worried about here when I'm here in the hobby.
Yeah.
And there is no getting around it in any way, shape, or form. If you've been here a few years and you're active on your social medias, you're going to have experienced some sort of, uh, tobacco, falling out, beef, people making fun of
Backlash.
you, backlash, exactly. Like it all, it's just, it's here, and you could be a saint and it's still going to
Well,
come
that's
down on you
because
at a certain point.
that's because not only can we not like everybody, because that happens in real life anyway. But I'm just gonna put his clothes back on while we're here. Where are we? Here. I'm just gonna put his clothes back on. Not only can you not like anybody, but some people, not mentioning like just people in general, they don't have anything better to do than find negative in something, and whether
Yeah.
that be a doll community, clothes, something that's on the news, something like it doesn't have to be in the doll community. They've just found the doll community. I think some people will just find negativity in anything and everything, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's jealousy. Sometimes, in fact, a lot of the time it's jealousy. Sometimes they've got something going on in their own life, or they're bored, or they're not fulfilled for whatever reason. They're bitter for whatever reason. They're angry for whatever reason. They think you've crossed them even if you've done nothing ever, because some people are just like that. And then other
Yeah.
people are just absolutely wonderful. And I think sometimes you've got to remember why you're here. So because you love your dolls, you love your hobby. And I mean, I know for me, the biggest part, yes, I love the dolls and I love sharing them personally. And if you're new and you don't know me, I do have a few. I don't have loads, I have 4. But I tend to focus on one at a time. I don't have them all out bit by bit. So if you look on my feed, you will see lots of Hamish because he's the newest, and mingled in with a little bit of the other dolls that are there. And before that, there's lots of Maeve, and then lots of Molly, Dougie, and Annie. Like, because that's how my brain works. I can't have them all out at once. But you got to remember why you're here and what you love. My biggest part of the hobby now is sharing the stuff, the things, not necessarily sharing this is what I've got, but sharing the the pictures. And I love sharing them privately as well. So I have Dougie out all of the time, but I have Maeve out that I have privately. And I think as long as you hold on to why you're here, why you collect,
Yeah.
and try to focus more on that than the negativity, because that's going to always happen. There's always going to be somebody that's jealous or wants to find beef because there's nothing better for them to do. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on changing them and getting my fingers caught up. I think as long as you focus on that, then that's all you can do. It's not that nothing else matters, and you can put as many blinkers on as you like and say, oh, it doesn't bother me, blah, blah, blah. Of course it bothers you sometimes, but if you can put the blinkers on and just remember why you're here and what you enjoy, then that keeps it your happy space, your nice space, because after all, that's why we're all here, isn't it? We all have real lives, children or no children, jobs or no jobs, husbands or no husbands, houses to run. Like, we all have a life and stuff. And this is, whether it be 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, half an hour a day, or consumed 7 hours a day, where we spend time with these little works of art,
Right.
because it's escapism, isn't it? It's exactly what it is. It's for 5 minutes, changing a doll, picking its outfit. It's just nice. And all hobbies are supposed to be pleasant, supposed to
Right.
be an enjoyable thing, something that you like, something relaxing, something to get you out of the norm. And I think that's
Right.
what you've got to remember, and then you'll be cool.
Yeah. I think if you're really like I admittedly so have gotten lost down some rabbit holes at times.
Me too.
Um I I'm sure we are all, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us are guilty of that in some way, shape, or form. But I think those that really take the joy, have joy and happiness in the dolls, in the art, in the people, in the good parts of it. You
Yeah.
always come back around to that. And for me, kind of each time I've gotten maybe a little lost, um, it's maybe not as far down. It takes less of me off each time, to the point
Yeah.
where I feel secure in that I've reached a point. You learn to navigate a little better as well. And um, I'm here to enjoy everyone on a whole. I don't have to be, closest, best private friends with every single, person that reaches out to me,
Yeah.
for whatever reason. It, Sometimes it's just as simple as enjoying one another in the live chats, the comments, the memberships, whatever it is. But and that's something that as a person I had to kind of have some experiences to
Yeah.
learn, and that's just the way that it is. I'm you know I don't want to say naive. I'm not a naive person, but it's just, the internet is a whole different world.
I
Ladies
think people
our
on the
age,
internet,
we weren't raised knowing
no,
this stuff.
no. And I think people on the internet, like everybody, um, and I've been guilty of it probably.
Thank you,
I can't think of
Elizabeth.
an I can't think of an opinion. I can't think of when an example, but I'm sure I have. I think sometimes we all say stuff that online that we wouldn't say in real life to someone.
Right,
And
right,
I think the easiest way is to remember that it is online. It's online, you know. So if you're getting a negativity and a bad okay, move on. Like, you don't like my stuff, you don't like my baby, you don't like my personality, you don't like my accent, you don't like that I'm English, you don't like that I'm ginger.
right,
Okay, don't watch, move on. Like, nobody's begging you to, nobody's asking you to be here. You don't have to watch, and if you are, for whatever reason, well, however it floats your boat, that's fine. I hope you got some enjoyment out of it, whatever that is. But
right.
you know,
Like, thanks for the view at this point. And
so
I
I
know
got
that sounds cold or rude or mean or not. I
you've
don't
got to
know,
protect
but
yourself. It's protecting you. You're a human being, and it's protecting you. You're not a number. You're a human being. And so for me, it's just like, I got a comment on one of my, you're all going to go scrolling when I say this to see who it is. I got a comment on one of my pictures to say something like, it's a picture of Hamish looking gorgeous, newborn baby, and it says something like, me, when I get funky under the sheets. And I was like,
Okay.
What? Like, what? Now, I could have played that two ways. I did just put question marks because I wanted an explanation, but I didn't get one. You know, I could have screenshotted that and plastered that around and caused a big, like, everybody like, oh my God. Or,
look at what somebody, right.
Or I can just be like, okay, move on, you know.
Yeah. I mean, not that we've all been shocked by certain comments, and I'm sure most of them be like, look at what somebody has put.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you're not doing it constantly. It's just, sometimes it's like,
I think
wow,
I've learned
somebody
now
would say that.
sometimes you've just got to smile and wave. Sometimes you've got to be a penguin from Madagascar. What's that? Yeah, the film's called Madagascar. Just smile and wave, boys, smile and wave, and it's all right. And then go to your closest friend and go, "Oh my God, oh my God." But I think not everything has to be an issue or okay, that was a stupid comment and it means nothing, it's stupid, but you could play it differently, and I think you got to choose how you play stuff. You got to choose
Right.
what you choose your fight. Choose what's important.
Yeah. It's not choose what's important and where you focus your energy on.
Yeah.
And try. I mean, I'm not perfect. It's impossible to be like perfect all the time.
Yeah.
To never give a glance or energy to something negative. I'm just saying it feels so much better. That and if you feel yourself starting to get like a pull towards, looking towards negative things, or even looking at negative things being said about you and stuff like that.
That's hard to ignore that, though. That is hard. That's a real learning curve for yourself to ignore when people are saying negative things directly about you. That's a real, because you want to know, but you don't want to know, and you want to comment back, but then that then that's just a vicious cycle. So saying nothing is the best thing to do, but sometimes some people just keep pushing that button and poking that stick, and it takes a real big person to just not look, not I've had some really negative, I've had nowhere near as much as you, not at all, but I've been a target, and
I know you have.
It's hard not to
Oh God!
It's only hard not to look for me, because so it's not on. Sometimes I'm like, but I want to say something and I can't, because it's not on a platform where I can, or somebody will send me a screenshot because I don't look.
Right.
Somebody will send me a screenshot and say, look, this has been said, or look, and it's absolute petty nonsense. But when you're getting petty nonsense day after day after day, or week after week after week, the petty nonsense starts to grate on you a little bit.
Yes, it can.
And then you've got to step back and go, okay, like, you actually don't mean nothing to me. Your opinion means nothing to me. And that's okay. The only thing when it's difficult is you don't want other people to believe their nonsense that's not true, because it makes you look bad and it's not true. And you can't defend that to the other however many sphere of people that are watching. So they've already got they've got a negative opinion of you and don't even know you.
Right.
Or a negative opinion of you, do know you, but don't know the truth. And then that makes you kind of want to fight your own corner. But then you've got to say to yourself, hold on, I'm a 47-year-old grown woman, and I don't need to stand in a corner.
Yeah.
Because if you 50 people want to believe that, then go for it, because I know the truth.
And I was there, because I was to a point where I'm just like, I'm just want to hide in my own little corner here, and that's it. And then I just said to myself, screw that. I am not that specifically, like, I obviously there's only so much time in a day, or one live stream or whatever. Certainly over on Instagram. Plus, I'll add it into the channel membership in posts, or lives and stuff as well. Like, they'll all be kind of interchangeable or connectable or whatever. But I really reached a point where I said to myself, I am not going to just be backed into a corner. Now, what that means for me is just that I'm not cowering down. I'm not just going to simply, shrivel up in my little corner in my bubble. What I will not do ever again is engage in any sort of back and forth of anything with any channel creator, with any, social media, somebody else's social media platform. That's what I mean by that. I want everything to be positive. If I share something, it's just simply from my own personal experience. It's not talking about somebody else. It's not, because I won't go there. I won't, not even to defend myself. And those of you that have been around, that I haven't answered to a lot of what's gone on out there, because I shouldn't have to in the first place. But even if I did, all that's going to do is create more of a back and forth, more of a, and it's not. We're here for a hobby. We're here to enjoy.
I was just going to say that some things are really serious. Like, some things have been serious, but I think you will agree that probably 90% of it from you, because obviously I've had nothing crazy serious. Mine's just been that shit. But sorry for swearing on your stream. But
no, I think you're fine.
It just comes out. But I think that you would probably agree that 90% of it is just stupid, just not even worth it. It's just stupid. You've had 10% of really, really nastiness, like really nastiness. But on the whole, it's just, I got it first. She had this. She's
why
didn't she say my name? Why didn't she say the group's name? What, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. And at the end of the day, like, circling back around, at the end of the day, you just got to remember what you're here for. You're here because these are pretty impressive. You're here because
I know. Look what you're holding.
I mean, like, I could, when you have a baby and you could just bite its neck, you could just bite it. I swear I could sniff him and he would smell real. He doesn't. I wish he would, but he could smell real. He's like, I think that's top and bottom of it, is you do what you enjoy. I mean, I do live. I haven't done one for a long time, but I sometimes do lives on Instagram, and really they just end up being, well, generally me laughing my head off half the time and can't breathe, but just stupidness.
Just fun. Just having fun.
I've had the girls round, and that's nice. That's such a nice, especially when we were in lockdown, that was such a nice sort of like breath of fresh air. Like, just come on, talk to my friends for an hour. Just lovely,
Right.
you know?
Right, because it was like, and at that point, nobody was getting out of their houses,
Yeah,
so it was almost
we
like we
weren't
all
seeing
were
no
able
one.
to get
Yeah,
together, right?
yeah,
And those, just things like that help us through. I mean, if for not each other, what else are we here for?
yeah, exactly.
We'd just be privately collecting our dolls and not, I mean, we're all here obviously for each other for a reason.
Yeah.
And I love that social media. I mean, I'm I'm I'm
Well,
struggling.
I wouldn't have met you if it weren't for social
Right.
media. How would I have ever met somebody from the US when I live in a very small city in the UK? Like,
Right. It connects us
you know,
from all over the
all
place.
over the world.
Now, the technology is growing faster than personally I am like, oh my Lord. Like the subscriptions thing, the Instagram, I had no idea had it been out for a while and it was just over my head and I didn't even realize it literally just came out, but I guess that they just put that to the US. I had no idea. Now I'm in there trying to figure out because I'm like now I got it started. People can join up.
Yeah.
And now I gotta make sure I
Hey,
can
listen,
navigate, which I can, but
I've
I'm like,
said I've said I'm going to do YouTube videos. So here's the thing. I did YouTube videos well, no, I didn't I can't even say I did YouTube videos quite a few years ago because I really didn't. I probably did about 10 if I'm lucky. I did the camera the wrong way around. I recorded it the wrong way around.
that would be
Uh,
me.
so I recorded it the wrong way around. Number one, like come to see me on YouTube when I do them. Feel free, but like I don't know how to do the buttons to do your subscribe button. There'll be no
I don't
fancy
know how to do
coming.
any of that.
There'll be no. I mean, you have a lovely Pixie Mommy buttons. I'll just be like, oh hello, it's me again today with Hamish. Come along and see me. Like there was going to be like there's going to be by no bells and whistles, I mean zero bells and whistles. The bells and whistles that you're going to get when you go I'm not selling this very well, am I? The bells and whistles that you're going to get is the Dollies.
I think you're selling it very well because that's what we want. I mean, that's what I think the majority of us want to just sit down and watch one another's videos and hear us as though they're sitting next to us
Yeah.
having tea. I
I mean,
mean, the
I
little
don't edit.
intro thing or whatever. I mean, that's just my memorized saying hello. Obviously, the rest of it, I don't edit. I don't do anything. It's just like this. It's just like we're just,
Yeah. Yeah.
and those few people that have spoken to us or do speak to us or we all speak to one another off camera, everyone knows I'm the same, you're the same. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, are we polished up a little more in that we're not, talking like a truck driver and
I mean, I can if you want me to.
maybe, but of course you're not, but still, it's still you're still being
Yeah.
yourself in general. I honestly have no problem with cursing on my it's an adult channel. It's
Yeah. I know, but
I try to curb my language because I know sometimes kids do come across our videos. Plus, it is offensive to some people. So I try to be courteous, just like I would if I'm out in the supermarket or sitting down at a restaurant and there's people around me. I'm not gonna, it's the same thing. I'm sure we all try to just respect one another,
He's so real. Honestly, he's been how long an hour. I could eat him. I could despite his little creasy neck.
I know. He just, I love seeing him in your arms. Like he is, ugh, I can't stand it. He's so real.
He is. He's beyond cute.
I know. I'm sure everybody watching this live and everybody that will watch this live and everybody that follows you on Instagram will be really, 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 really thrilled, to see him in some videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's just like nothing like seeing the movement of them.
Well, you've been saying to me for a long, we've had a million chats about my YouTube, and I've been like, no, why should I do a YouTube? Nobody wants to see my YouTube. It's all been done before. Blah 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 blah.
It doesn't matter.
If you want to see a squishy baby move, go and look there because they do it better. Blah 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 blah. And then I was kind of like, okay, Tasha's got a point. Like, it's nice to see the pictures of Hamish, but some people might want to see how Izzy's sculpts move, so it doesn't have to be all like technical and I don't profess to know anything about silicones. I'm brand new. I've never had one before. I watched a real lot before he came along, but when I'm changing him, or if I've got something to say about a vinyl or whatever, then, instead of just taking a picture or hopping on a live, then maybe popping it on YouTube is
right.
So people can see how because I think his photographs are lovely, but like I said to you, you can't always, well, it doesn't capture. The photographs don't capture the beauty. They don't capture the movement. And with silicone as well. So with a vinyl, as you know, we've spoken a million times about it, I'm massively underfill. So you can get some really nice pictures, but silicones have got solid bodies. So although you can put them in nice positions, their memory is kind of to go back to where they were. So unless you're holding them and manipulating them, you don't necessarily get the picture that you want.
Right.
But a video shows, like, I'm half off camera, aren't I? Oh, there we go.
No, you're on. Yeah, you're on.
The video shows, like, the bendy baby.
Exactly.
So, you will see some videos because Tash decided that I should. Because she convinced me after probably a year of saying, you should do it. She should, when I was getting him, she said, why don't you do a video about him coming? He was a year's wait. Why don't you do a video of him coming? No. Why don't you do a video, like, show his detail? No. You've been nesting and got loads of stuff. Why don't you? No.
I finally wore you down, so
you wore me
everybody
down.
Come thank me.
Yeah.
When you see Lee and Hamish on YouTube.
If you come and subscribe, just put came from Tash. I'll buy you a chocolate bar. No, I won't. You're losing weight. I'll buy you.
No, I'm still eating chocolate. I'm not on a diet. I'm only.
Oh, I'll send you I'll send you a chocolate bar in the next Happy Mail post. Like, thanks for sending people my way.
I'm not on a diet. I'm only exercising. Somehow that just sounds wrong, but it's so true. No, I'm not on a diet.
No, but moving your body when you've been in depression and not moving it, that you will be burning calories. Yeah. That's a good thing. I, however, am on a diet. Oh, I'm going to message you tomorrow. I got weighed last Wednesday. Tomorrow I'll tell you if I lost any. I probably lost 2 pounds down the back of the sofa, but I'll let you know.
How many of you all here are preparing for the winter in any way, like dieting, exercising, worried about like putting on the extra holiday weight or going through another winter? I'm just curious. And Margie, I will definitely give Oscar a big squish and a kiss from you. Um,
What time is it where you are? Why is your light so bright? Is it daytime?
it's 5 p.m. So you have the sun starting to go down, like in the direction behind the camera, but the light's bright because I have the two standing lights that have the three bulbs on them, like aimed right at.
Ah, oh, okay.
Like it's the same lights that I put on for filming videos and taking pictures.
Oh,
I
okay. Okay.
So this, I just, yeah.
Okay.
But it is, and yes, it's light out. It's not dark out. It's light out.
Oh, it's sticky dark here.
So me with the monkey face. Um,
I can't see any. I'm not being rude to any single person, by the way, by not saying anything. If you're commenting, I just don't see them. I can't. I can see one comment now, but like I see one, and then like after like 10 minutes, so it changed, and then I see another one.
oh, you're seeing the ones that I'm putting up across the top. I
So
always had
yeah,
that problem when I went on other people's StreamYards as a guest about seeing the comments. Touch your phone, touch it, and scroll. You should be able to bring up the comments that
no,
way.
nothing. No,
No,
can't see. Chat. If I press chat, oh,
that may
um,
help.
if I pressed comments, I can see everybody's comments, but then I can't see anything else.
You can't
So
see us, okay?
yeah, so I'm just gonna say to everybody, like,
It's 2 p.m. in California. Margie says, I'll
hello.
keep.
It is 10:03 p.m. here. Pitch black outside, and it's actually been really warm today in the UK. It's been a nice day, actually. It's been a really nice autumn day today. Autumn day.
Yeah, it's pretty decent here on Long Island, New York as well.
Yeah.
It's not, it was rainy this morning. It was raining last night and it was rainy this morning, but then it cleared up to be a pretty decent day. It's not cold.
Yeah.
It's supposed to get cold. Which I'm
Yeah.
not looking forward to, but I'm
No.
also like, I was talking to another friend, like it's trying to stay positive about
Yeah.
the winter. And so I'm like, I've, bought some new clothes for myself, some jeans and some slouchy boot socks and my new Doc Martens. And like, I'm trying to get happy about the winter.
Yeah.
Because what else are you going to do? It's coming. And
See, I don't like winter, but there's things that get me through winter. Christmas.
I know you love Christmas, which I do too, but it can be sometimes more of a stress for me. But I still have
I mean,
you have
it
young
is.
ones in the house.
It is being, being a grown up. It's stressful. Of course, it's stressful, but so I'm doing this thing, everybody. I currently have 3 baubles and a cushion in my house for Christmas. My husband is a bit of a Grinch, and I'm not allowed to decorate the house until 2 weeks before Christmas, and then it has to come down a week after Christmas. And
Oh,
I'm not allowed like it just so my birthday is the middle of December, and then that's his limit. That's when we can start like my birthday weekend, which is right in the middle.
usually people will do like right after Thanksgiving
Which is
is
when.
acceptable. Oh, duh, you're in the UK. Thanksgiving is November. Oh, help me out, ladies and gents and folks. The 25th.
Oh, right, okay.
Help me out, US. Or is it the 20 or is it the 29th? When is Thanksgiving? November 25th or November 29th, somewhere in there. The end of November. I
See,
forget.
Michael wouldn't even let me. But I've managed to sneak in the house so far 3 baubles, which he hasn't noticed, and a cushion that I've had on the sofa for a week, like this. So my lounge is like, I've got a cream sofa, cream walls, but I have 2 navy walls. So this is like an accent cushion. Not even thought anything about it, except for, are you ready?
She sent me this on message yesterday, and she's just like, "But look, ta-da!"
So when he's home, it's turned that way, so he can't see it, and he doesn't know that Christmas is already here. Just saying.
Who loves Christmas that much?
And I will let you know how many baubles he. So I have them like, I have like one hung in the window, and I have one in a glass bowl, and I have one hung on the sideboard, and I just keep putting them, and we'll see how many I can manage to get in the house before he notices that they're in. And once they're in and they've been in for a while, then you can't say anything, can you?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I know hubby, like my family wouldn't care or notice if I put Christmas stuff out in July. It really just, yeah. I mean, well, somebody might mention it and be like, why is there Christmas stuff out? But I don't think it would matter too much.
Well, my kids would be dead excited because they're just like me. Like my son, who lives in London, he's at uni in London. He like squeals at me down the phone the minute they come in the shop. He's like, "Mom, Christmas is in the shops." So they would just wink at me like, "Come on, let's put another one in." But Grinch will notice eventually.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Margie says it's finally below the hundreds here. Wow.
Oh my God.
That's hot.
That's
very, very hot.
I'm ginger. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah,
I'd be
no,
like,
that's...
I'd be tree hopping like, oh, there's a tree. Oh, there's a tree. Because I'm like Rango. I'd just go Crispin Bear. Hamish has actually got a Christmas sleep suit on, but we're glossing over that, and we're hiding it in the pictures and say that it's just Toby from Labyrinth, when really he's got I don't know if you can see, no, that way. He's got a dachshund in a Christmas hat on his sleep suit, look.
And it's so cute. See, I don't know, like, even if that's out in pictures, I still think you could get away with that right now.
No, I just get the blanket and just kind of like...
Oh, just November 24th. Thank you, Margie. Good. Thanksgiving is November 24th. I was wrong. It wasn't 25th or the 29th. It's 24th.
Well, so what celebration do we have? Halloween, obviously, and then in England we have on the 5th of November, we have bonfire night. Basically, some guy decided he wanted to blow up the House of Parliament, and for some reason we celebrate that by making an effigy of him and burning it on a bonfire, and then having fireworks on the 5th of November.
Historical.
So that's how they're ours, and then Christmas.
Right.
We've been having fantastic weather in Canada. Still wearing shorts and PJs. Shorts and t-shirts.
Well, and for Canada, that's good because it's cold there.
Geese. You'll have geese. Real life ones. We have geese. So I live near a Victorian park, and we have geese for about a month while they're migrating. They all come and they kind of congregate on the park, and there's like hundreds of them, and then they just disappear. So now we don't have any. Now they're gone.
Anna, thank you. Now I don't feel as stupid.
So it's like Easter. The date changes.
Yes. Yeah. So it's the last Thursday of November. So the numeric date changes. No, wait. Now I even feel more stupid. I should have known that. No, but thank you.
You've only celebrated it your entire life. Yeah?
Right? Oh, goodness. Yeah,
No,
yeah, my brain doesn't work right. We all know that, but y'all love me, so,
of course we do. Millions of pounds. Anyway, I am. Oh, I just.
Anna is a Christmas nerd. Okay, well, we got another Christmas nerd, huh?
Oh, hello, Christmas nerd.
Hallmark
Catch.
this Friday, and we'll be watching. I'm so excited. Aw.
Oh, we've already been watching the Christmas channel. We've already watched Muppet Christmas Carol. Last Thursday actually we watched Muppet Christmas Carol.
Aw.
That's so exciting. Can't even wait. 68
I want
weeks
to
for me.
go see the new Halloween movie because I got to admit I love
Oh, which one?
Halloween.
The one that everybody's saying is really scary and making people pass out? That one?
Oh, are they saying that? I don't know. It's supposed to
So
be the
obviously
last
you.
one in the like trilogy, I
Oh,
guess.
is
I
it
don't know.
called Halloween? Oh no, that's
Yeah,
not it.
yeah,
No, that's not it
it's
then.
Halloween.
No.
It's
This
supposed to
I
have Jamie Lee Curtis. It's supposed to have like the original actress
Oh
from.
no, I know there was something on the news the other day. Obviously, mine, what you probably get different showings of viewings. Some scary movie that's just come out that is making people. It's really gory and it's making people throw up and pass out. And I'm like, oh, I want to go see that.
Oh yeah, what movie? I want to go see too.
I can't remember. I can't. I think it's called something. I can't remember. I think it's called something really simple, like scary, or I'll have to have a look on the news because I just kind of got.
Yeah, we'll have to Google it and see what movies
But
making
apparently,
people.
people are passing out, having to leave, and throwing up, and I was like, oh, challenge accepted.
Yes, now that sounds good.
But
Hmm.
nobody would come and watch it with me because Michael hates scary films, so I'd have to go see it on my own and be scared on my pants by myself.
Oh gosh, I wish we lived close.
I
I
know.
certain scary movies like I'm not great with, but gore doesn't bother me. Like
See,
that type of.
I like being like gore doesn't bother me at all. But I like being scared out my pants because it makes you feel alive. I like it. I like being really scared.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't think I've really seen a scary film for a long time. Not that scared me. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to be scared. I want to see the scary film. Um,
Oh, this is cute. Look at this comment. My hubby is letting me do a Christmas tree full of
ah,
pacifiers and all the reborn babies' pics and frames. Oh my gosh, that is
we want
adorable.
to see a picture of that. That's really cute. I can't wait to see that. You have to post it somewhere. So I'm drawing up some prototype designs for baby onesies. Oh,
That
you
sounds
like
neat.
baby onesies? I mean, I like all baby things.
Oh, here, let me put you.
Just changed my name recently
Shelly.
to Shelly
Yeah,
Clay. Oh, hi, Shelly. I know Shelly Silly Babies. Hello.
I've always said Shelly C. I'm pretty sure because there's a couple Shellys, so I would always be like Shelly C. Or no, there's another Shelly C, isn't there?
I don't know.
I know who's who though. Like,
I know who people are like if they're on Instagram. I'm not very au fait with many people on YouTube, but that's purely because it's not a platform that I'm very present on, you know? Scream? No, it's not
it's an
Scream.
old movie, right? Scream,
Yeah.
unless they maybe
No,
came
it's
out with a new
it's
one, but
brand new. I can't come off here to have a look, but I will find it and I will send you a message. It's not Scream. It's in the cinemas now. It says it's in the cinemas now and people are passing out in the cinema. And I was like, oh. I need to go and see that.
Yeah, I want to know what movie it is. And I definitely know I want to see the Halloween movie because that's always like, that's my like classic
Yeah.
favorite Halloween movie. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, Destiny, she really loves the Halloween movies. Um, so she wants to see it. So we'll
My
probably go.
youngest likes the scary movies, but she'll be 16 in December. So she's at that really funny age where some things are just not quite suitable because she's not 18. So some things, especially when some
Yeah.
films are, especially with horror films, they can be quite either very graphic or the subject can be quite adult. And don't get me wrong, she's nearly 16. She's getting there, but quite often I have to watch it first and check that it's, scary enough that she can watch it and not babyish, but not
Yeah, I
too done
understand
up.
that.
So
I have to admit that I've always kind of let my kids watch um mm, as far as scary movies. I certainly wouldn't let them watch like adult content, like that type
yeah,
of stuff. But
yeah,
I mean, as far as like, whatever scary movies and stuff, and I have to admit that that probably wasn't the best parenting choice.
yeah,
I really, I think that I agree with you, Lee. I think that
yeah,
that it's to take the time to watch through a movie and to see, like you said, you don't want it to be like babyish where she's not going to want to watch, but
yeah,
you're checking out before you have
yeah.
your young daughter watch. I don't blame you, for it.
I mean,
I
don't
did
get me
things
wrong. That
differently, but I don't blame
uh,
you.
don't get me wrong. I have like, she's the youngest of four, and probably the others would be like, "Yeah, mom, you were still writing us letters from the tooth fairy when we were 13." Because I try to hold on to childhood as long as I can. Like Ruby literally had a pen pal that was the tooth fairy, and
Yeah,
until but
I think I baby Gabe too in that way too. So sometimes it could be a little bit more the younger ones
yeah,
because I'm laughing in my head thinking to myself when Noelle and now Noelle and Destiny are only 2 years apart, so they're 20 and 22, so they obviously grew up 2 years apart.
yeah,
And when they were, I don't know, I want to say like maybe 10 and 12, something like that. Um, I had taken one of the Halloween bins that had costumes in it out from the shed. I was outside and it was night. So we had the Scream costume, right?
yeah.
So I put the Scream costume on. I took a rake and I'm like going clunk, clunk, clunk on the kitchen window, and they're in there. They were actually baking cookies, and you hear the cookie sheet flying. You hear them just from the noise. And then I just like slowly step into the kitchen. I was draped from head to toe in this costume. I had gloves on so you couldn't see my tattoos, my hands, nothing. I had the black, work boots on. They I mean, they just shit themselves. I mean, I thought they were going to kill each other to get out of the kitchen. Noelle jumped out Gabriel's window through the front of the house and left her sister
I mean,
behind.
I love scaring people,
I
but
mean, these poor kids. And I mean, of course, after I gave them a good scare, I took the mask off and they're like, they're like huffing, but then they started laughing like they had
yeah,
fun. Now
yeah,
they tell me, "Oh, you traumatized us." I'm like, "I know you really look so traumatized, girls."
yeah.
But
It's really
I'm
bothered you.
laughing like that's it. I would never dream of doing that to Gabriel. Never, I would never
See,
dream of doing that to that kid. But yet, so I wonder if it's just the last kid.
I don't. I mean, I have held on to her a little bit longer. There's no doubt about that. I mean, she's my she's my little home bird, you know, but all four of them are very, 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 very different. I've got 2 girls and 2 boys, and each one of them is their own person. That they're so different. That I mean, they have very similar. They have very similar mannerisms. There's definitely traits in them that I can see come from me or their dad, because they're there through all of them. But as an individual, I mean, my second daughter is don't tell me what to do. She's just becoming a firefighter, and she's like, if I want to do it, I will.
Yeah,
that's it. You know, and as a teenager, she was a pain in the butt. But this one here, she will message me, she'll send me a photograph and say, is this too grown up? Do you think that this would be okay? Whereas my other daughter would have been like, this is my money and I'm buying it, you know.
Right.
But she's also got a really, really grown up head on her shoulders too. You know, it's kind of a nice balance.
She's a great kid. Well, you know, I love Ruby.
but she's my last one, so I'm not, you know, she's nearly 16, so she'll be off soon.
I know.
And then I'll just have to fill my house with more dolls.
I just love, though, that like you're truly keeping her young and sheltered as long as you can, and it's smart, because maybe we learn that too as we go along with our kids, because you don't need them growing up any faster than they already do.
Gosh, I think for me, I personally think so. I think that the newborn to 4 months goes by like it's just a blur. You're so asleep you can't even remember it. It's a blur. But I think so in the UK we finish high school at 16, and then you have to do 2 more years in education, whether that be at a college or an apprenticeship. But you have to do so you finish school at 18, and then you can leave school and never do education again, or go on to university. And I think that 16 to 18 is the fastest jump. It's so fast. Like they just finished school, and then before you know it, in my experience, because they went to uni, they've gone. You know, and you're like, it's so fast. And I think they change a real lot in that time as well, because they become more independent. And so my rule is, you don't necessarily, like she's almost 16. You don't have to ask my permission anymore, because you're becoming an adult soon. But you do have to respect me enough that you tell me what you're doing.
Exactly.
You know? And I have an absolute limit of I want to know where you are, and here is your time to be in. You know?
Right.
So, Lee, what is your Instagram? It's the same as what's on here. Mon ami, one word, MONAME, like my friend in French. _ Lee, which is my name, Mon ami Lee. Thank you. So, but I do baby them. But then don't you find, like, even your big ones, so like my eldest is 27 and in my head is still 10. Like, it's really hard to see them as like it's just still
they're still kids, even though
I mean he's got a
my oldest just turned 28. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, mine's just become a daddy, and that's like I have to like like no, he's still 10.
Because they're still right. I know. Yeah. You don't look at them as grown-ups. And I wonder, will we ever?
I don't think so. I think I do. So it's really funny. He's an adult while everything's going fine. He's an adult. But if he becomes ill or needs his mum for whatever reason, then no, he's 10. You know, I mean, he's a Royal Marine Commando, and I'm like, do you need me to come down? He's like, oh, shut up, mother. Of course I don't need you to come down, you know. Are you sure?
Certainly
Like,
boys. I mean,
no.
we know from marrying them, hello, I guess they never really do grow up. They go from having,
Having
you
their
know,
mum to having you
mommy
as a...
to right, you know, and they get married when the moms, you know, get sick of them, and the wives then take them off the mother's hands, or at least that's how it seems, because
Yeah.
Lord knows, I, I I don't think I've ever met any woman that's ever been on it. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
they all, even the most mature ones, I just
Yeah.
don't know if they'll ever grow up. But
Ah, thank
at
you,
the same
Margie.
token, look at us. We're here like spoiled brats. We're gonna do what we're gonna do, and we play with dolls and don't
Oh,
care. So
listen, I am
I just
ginger.
think we do life a little better.
Yeah, I do life a lot better. I am ginger. I am stubborn as a mule. I am as fiery, like I am a typical redhead. Little things, but I will let little things roll, little things roll, little things roll. And then I'm like a firecracker. I am absolutely a typical redhead, which is a stupid thing to say. How do your hair color reflect your personality? But they say redheads are fire. I really am. I can let things
Mm-hmm.
slide for a really long time, little things, and then I blow when I remember all the little things. I've saved them up. I remember them. And I'm stubborn and I'm impulsive. Um, and they're all probably not great qualities, but I also have some really fabulous qualities. I love Christmas. I mean, I can cheer you up every day about Christmas, even in August if you want me to. You know, I'm brutally honest, sometimes at a
You are.
detriment to myself. But I'm loyal and I'm kind.
I don't personally see that as a detriment at all, but it's I value that in a person, but
Yeah. But you know, I do think as a woman we tend to multitask a little bit better and do life a little bit better than men. You know, I can do man stuff. It's all right.
yes, right. We do the adulting better.
Yeah,
There's a maturity, you know, and men just, but we're different species.
yeah.
You know, our minds work different. My oldest is 40, and my let's see. Oh, let's put up. Shall
Let me
I
see.
see?
My oldest is graduating this year, and I'm having a hard time with the whole idea. She's still. Oh, I know. I really know what that's like. So
Yeah.
I've got a 27-year-old Royal Marine Commando. So he's quite far away and he's always quite far away. And although I was just saying when he's ill, I say, do you need me? It actually would be real tricky because he's like 7.5 hours away.
Yeah.
And that's now when he's in the country. I have a massively independent 26-year-old, but that still needs a mum, you know, but she's also like really headstrong. And then I've got an almost 21-year-old that just went to uni a few years ago, and that was so the Royal Marine Commando went off, and I was kind of okay because in the Marines you're very much looked after. I knew he was safe.
Right. Right.
When he was young and having his training, he's looked after. He's fed. He's watered. They've got medics.
Yeah.
He was looked after. The next one down didn't leave the city, so you know I was there, right on hand. It was fine. My other son that went away to uni was 5 hours away in the car, 3 hours away on the train. And gosh, that was so hard. And
Yeah.
he did it. He did his first year. So he went in the September, and then we went into the lockdown. So that was awful because he was just in a little room all by himself. But he did it. What a life experience. What a learning curve, you know. And he's pretty cool. And then little Ruby's only 16, almost 17. My oldest is 14, my youngest is 30, and they're still my babies. Good, yeah. Mine won't be my babies. They'll still be my babies when they're 60. Mum deserves medals and awards. Yes, they do, as big as dinner plates.
I know, right? Right.
Yeah, right. But we don't get them. But what we do get, it probably glorifies it a little bit because parenting is hard, and we don't get rule books, and we learn as we go along, and we all make mistakes, and nobody's perfect.
They don't come with instructions, that's for sure.
And I am absolutely not perfect, but I've got 4.
You're a good mom, though.
4 beautiful children, and that's reward enough, isn't it? That they're strong and independent and know their own minds,
self-sufficient, all of that.
They know their own minds. They've got a voice. They know how to use it. That's all. That's a reward, isn't it? Because you made that. You did that all by yourself.
Yes.
I say that all the time. I made you all by myself. But you know,
I agree. That is a reward.
That's a massive reward, isn't it? That we get to do that. Could quite happily take the batteries out sometimes. But yeah. I have a 35-year-old daughter, and it was hard when she left for uni. Yeah, we do. We absolutely do. And
yeah.
And I think it is. I think that when they go to uni, it's a harder adjustment for the parent than it is the child, because the child is becoming a young adult. They're exploring the world.
They're excited.
They're having new experiences all the time.
Spreading their wings.
Yeah,
freedom.
Making relationships and figuring the world out.
We're the ones
worrying about them doing the same old day-to-day stuff. You know. But how lovely is that you're now getting spoiled? That's nice. That's real nice. My boy might not be coming home for Christmas.
Oh.
Well, no, he will, but we'll just have to. Yeah, so he's well, he should find out tomorrow. He's hoping he's got a gig. So he plays, for those that don't know, he plays the double bass. He's in London, and if he gets it, he'll only get Christmas Day and Boxing Day off. So we'll have to drive to pick him up so that he's not on his own on Christmas Day, and then take him back. And he'll be doing it. So he's going to go somewhere else in the country to do it, but then it will then travel back to the West End, and then he will sit on it in the West End because he lives in London. But it will mean that from, I think it's the first week in November, like he won't be free. He'll have no time apart from Christmas Day and Boxing Day. So, and he rang me up, and he was just, because I was saying we're Christmas mad, and he was like, I can't do it, Mum. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, it's Christmas. I need Christmas with my mum, and I can't. And I was like, yeah, you can. Your mum will come and get you. It's fine. You can still do it.
Oh.
But yeah. But that was it. That was the only reason he couldn't do it. Christmas. Got to do Christmas. So
that's
I was like,
funny.
yes,
that's
you do,
funny.
but yes, we can. So, yeah.
Well, my battery is on 16%, so I'm going to let everyone go because I don't want to just drop on you. And once it gets this low, like it could go real fast because we're on video.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and we've been on for 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Oh my gosh, have we?
Time flies when you're having so much fun.
Yes, and
this is why your channel is so important and sold. Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, you're so wonderful. All your comments on, everyone's, you all feed my soul. Like, I get all the positive energy from everyone here that's puts in the positive energy. It just, I love it.
My phone has just told me you're now on 10%.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I told you it's going to go down real quick. That's why I was like, I better say something. I don't want to just drop off.
So we better say I love you. Bye.
Let's wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Don't forget to go over and subscribe to Lee's YouTube channel. And if you're not following her over on Instagram, check her out on Instagram. And I'll be talking more about everything that I'm rolling out, but I'm going to be here a lot more, so hope you all don't get sick of me.
No, we can't. Thank you so much for having me. And nice to meet you all.
Thank you for being here. It was wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for spending your few hours with us.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.